on the floor if you got that heat.
Hey guys, I'm Calley from Crown Beauty Bar, and today I'm going to show you a hair how-to on how to do a braided top knot. So last night I prepped my hair with Evo Water Killer, which is a dry shampoo. I do that at the root, and what that will do is it'll absorb oils. It's really important to do it at night because it gives your hair full time, the full amount of time to absorb those oils. And then my go-to product is oil for my ends. My hair is really dry, so I need to keep some of that moisture in my ends. So for morning, or like right before I'm gonna do the style, I'm gonna go back through with my Evo Water Killer dry shampoo, and I'm gonna split probably about every inch or so and just spray that in. Make sure you're not holding your bottle too close to your head, or you'll kind of get those like super concentrated white spots on your roots. Okay, and then massage that in really well, just work it through. And then like I said, my ends get really dry, so I'm gonna go through with Evo's Love Touch, which is kind of like a shine spray, and put that through my ends, and so that way my hair looks nice and healthy. All right, so what you will need is to grab a comb, and you are going to part your hair smack dab in the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so what I usually do just to keep my hair out of the way is I'll pick one side and clip it down just because I tend to grab too much hair. And then what you will do is you'll create a little box at the front of your hair. So pretty much it looks about like a 1.5 by 1.5 inch square on the front of your head. You don't want to go too far back. I'll explain that later, but just a perfect little square is great. Make sure you don't go too far over either. We'll clip this one back as well, so that one's out of the way. All right, so to do that first braid, you wanna make sure you stay kind of like a 45-degree angle from your head, and you're just gonna do a simple 3-strand braid. So taking it in 3 sections, and then start your braid. You don't have to worry about the braid being too tight or too loose because we're gonna kind of mess with that as we go. And it'll be a teeny tiny braid, but I'll show you how to expand that braid. And then you're just going to want to elastic the end just so we can keep that braid intact. And then you're gonna go through and you're just gonna kind of pull on each strand just to kind of give it the illusion that it's a little bit thicker of a braid than what it really is. Right, so that's our first one. I like to clip it out of the way because I can't really see when it's in my face. And then we'll go to the second one, and we will create a square very similar in size to the last one. And then again, go back through and clip that other side up so it's out of your way. So same thing, about a 45-degree angle. And then you're gonna continue with just a simple 3-strand braid. This style is really good for people that are not the best at braiding, such as myself. So super simple braid, but looks really intricate when you're done with the style. All right, so for the rest of your hair, when I do a half up, I kind of like to pull hair just past my, like my receding hairline area of my hair. And since I don't have a lot of hair, it's pretty fine. I like to grab a pretty good amount, and that way I'm gonna have some thickness to my top knot. So you've got that hair all combed up to the top. Then what you're gonna do is you're just going to flip your braids into that. Don't worry about how the braids are laying or how your hair is laying. We'll adjust that once we get that elastic in there. So we're gonna put it all up. I like for mine to be pretty high, but that's like a personal preference. Some people like them lower, so just whatever you'd like on that. Right, so then once you get it up, it's gonna look really silly, but that's when you start working with it. So I usually kind of wiggle mine down, and that's when I start pulling pieces out. I pull my braid out a little bit, and that's when you can still kind of go back through and mess with that braid as well. I kind of like to give it some width to it since my hair is so fine up there. So kind of just keep pulling and moving it around until you're happy with it. Then go back through and very carefully, so you don't cause any breakage, just kind of slip the elastic off from your braids and undo that. Okay, so we've got the top portion how we want it. We've got that really nice and secure. And now we're gonna go with the top bun portion of it. So the way that I prep my top bun for this, since this feels like such a fine amount of hair to me, I like to put a little bit of Haze styling powder in it. What this is gonna do is give it a little bit of texture and thickness. And I just kind of literally just work it into my pony. You can do it all throughout the ends. And then for Haze, it's activated by friction. So I just kind of give my hair a little friction to give that product workability. And then you're gonna wanna go through, and I just give it just a little bit of tease. So again, that's gonna cause it to look more thick. All right, so really simple from here. What you're gonna do, I have to be careful because I have these short layers, so just be super mindful of those, is you're literally just going to twist it around. So don't worry about twisting it perfectly because you can always adjust and pin after you're done. So I just take more of a band that has a little bit more hold to it. The elastics don't hold very well for me all day, and wrap that around the bun. You also want to make sure that you're kind of hiding that rubber band back there. I don't ever really worry about my bobby pins showing so much because I make sure that I have blonde bobbies, or whatever color your hair is, I make sure to match that. But the rubber band being shown is kind of not my favorite, so I make sure to tuck or hide however I can. So sometimes when I'm doing this in the morning, it comes together perfectly and I only have to use 2 bobby pins. And there's some mornings that I have to redo it like 4 or 5 times, so don't give up on yourself if it doesn't turn out right. And also embrace that like your top knot's not gonna be perfect, and that's kind of the beauty of it, is to have this like disheveled, lived in look. All right, so now we have our braided half up top knot done. So now it's time to address all this loveliness that's hanging down. Depending on the mood of the day, sometimes I just brush it out and I like that like super soft wave. But today I kind of wanted to add just a little bit more texture in there. So to do that, I'm gonna use Mr. Fantastic by Evo. It's a blowout spray. So it gives you a little bit of grit and texture, but not as much texture as the sea salt spray. So it's kind of right in between there, which is great for my hair type. So you're just gonna spray it in, kind of make sure you're spraying it from just a distance. You don't want to saturate the hair too much. So I've got Mr. Fantastic in. Then I'm gonna grab my Oi All-in-One Milk. This has a heat protectant in it. Most people use it when the hair is wet, but I actually like to use it as a heat protectant when it's dry as well. So shake that up, and then same thing, you're gonna go from a distance, spray that in your ends, just to give you that heat protection since you're gonna be putting a hot tool on it. And work that in. You can also brush it in as well. All right, so now for straightener curl. All right, so today I'm gonna be using my Chi straightening iron. I prefer to use this because it holds really well in my hair. The curls hold really well, and I can just do it quick and easy and be out the door. So I make sure to not overdo my curls, which I think helps create that like beachy textured look. So what I do is I kind of grab pretty big sections when I do it as well. So I'm gonna grab pretty much from ear forward, put that straightener in, just give it a little bit of a turn and pull that all the way through. I make sure I don't really hit my ends too much. And don't worry, they don't have to be perfect curls. That's not really the look that I'm going for. So whatever movement they do, I usually stick with. All right, so same thing. This time I'm actually gonna switch up the way that I'm curling. So I'm actually going towards my face instead of away from my face like the last one. And I instantly brush mine out just because I don't want it to keep any of the bounce of a curl. I want it to be kind of pulled out. All right, so if you'll also notice, I'm kind of more so just like scheming the top layer of my hair. I like to keep that bottom area straight, and that way it keeps and maintains my length with the curl, and also just gives it some contrast from the wave. All right, so now I'm done with my curls. I'm going to add Shampoo by Evo. This is a dry wax spray that I'm absolutely in love with. It adds texture to my hair, but it doesn't weigh my hair down nor make it sticky. So I'm literally just going to lift sections of my hair and spray while I'm lifting. And kind of work the product in as you go. So what it's gonna do, as you can see, is kind of start separating that hair a little bit. Another reason that I love the Shebang Bang is my hair will go really flat on me, so it's kind of a good way for me to build up weight and keep it there all day, instead of just having to like mess with my hair constantly all day. I can usually put Shebang Bang in the morning and it's good to go all day. All right guys, that's it. So that was your hair how-to on the braided half up top knot. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more videos, go check us out at crownbeautybar.com and check out our blog.